This is the question. You guys know that we do these questions every week, and we started posting them on social media, and you guys kind of love them. So we're going to keep doing it, and I love hearing your guys' feedback. Some of you guys have the worst takes in the world, but it's okay.
But, you know, for the discourse.
Yeah, this is what we're here for. This is literally what we're trying to do. So don't feel bad. Even if you have a horrible take and you want to put it,
please put it.
Feel free.
So I don't think people that have horrible takes necessarily know that their take is horrible.
Yeah, and I don't think they care. Even if they did, I don't think they would care.
Say your piece.
Say your piece and be at peace, and I will love it all the same. But my question today, in the spirit of breaking up, do you think it is possible to be friends with your ex?
What a question.
What a question. I have no stakes in this because I'm never friends with exes. That shit's very crazy. But I do talk to a lot of women that are friends with their exes. And I'm not a person that seems, I'm not a person that is like feeling some type of way.
Yeah.
Because I'm probably better than their ex. It's very rare that I wouldn't be. But
for sure.
That being said, they have access to a person I'm talking to far beyond anything that I could achieve. Experiences and memories are more powerful than the present. Doesn't matter what I bring to the table. If they're living in the fantasy, they're living in the hypothetical, and that's a powerful place to be because the mind is a very powerful place. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's definitely a heavily talked about one.
Well, I think that relationships move in a very forward linear direction.
Okay.
So each time you level up an interaction, you can't subtract. Once you're an acquaintance of someone, you'll never be a stranger. Once you're a friend, you'll never be an acquaintance.
Right.
Once you're a lover, you'll never be a friend.
Yeah.
So once you're in a relationship, once you're an ex, I don't think you can go backwards into friendship because relationships are higher on the hierarchy of relationships.
Yeah.
And you can't function going from a hierarchy to a deficit. You can only go from a deficit to a hierarchy.
Yeah. The laws of physics.
There's
energy
some
flow.
sort of thermodynamic situation happening that I will explain once I realize which psychophysiological
oh wow, you're speaking German.
Physical physics terms apply to that. Metaphysical terms apply to that. But there is some sort of transitional property of energy that can't be created or destroyed. Yeah. I fucking don't know.
No, you're saying some with the right words. It cannot be created or
yeah,
destroyed.
I mean, I'm saying them correctly. I don't know if they apply to the point I'm trying to make. Like, we're saying the right thing, sure.
Yeah, but like that energy that is put in on the romantic level
will always be there.
Will always exist in there, and that can't be destroyed. It was already created.
But that also brings up another question that I want to continue in a other conversation. I think I want this to be its own conversation. Okay. And I'm so very curious as to why people feel the need to be friends with their ex. And at the moment I ask that, I start to formulate some ideas, which is how my brain works. But I do want to like chat about that a little bit. It can be like maybe one of those sub episodes we do type shit.
Yeah. But no, I definitely like, why are we so insistent on it?
Why is that so important to us? Because in my brain, if it ends for a reason. I don't necessarily care. Yeah. Even if I love these people, some people that I've really been like super attached to that just completely fell apart. Right. And I'll like talk to them. I won't hate them, but I have no real desire to formulate some sort of significant bond with them. Right. Because they didn't value the bond that I was giving them in the first place. Right. I don't trust them to value it after the fact. Yeah, that's a really great way to put it. So I don't know the reason why people would want that except for the very obvious reason. And I think it's an issue that a lot of people find themselves, men and women, in new relationships. They find themselves dealing with the legacy of these past humans that, as a self-actualized individual or even just as a person trying to not manipulate and invalidate and gaslight another person's feelings, you don't necessarily want to invalidate the way that they feel. And this is a person that had an effect on them. Right. Imagine you coming in, like this brand new person that has no stake in this person's life, coming in like pissing on their past. We just talked about how we should value the past. I can't then come now and say that is meaningless in the face of what we're trying to create. So how do I negotiate trying to validate the experience and also cultivate my own one with them?
I don't know that that's like necessarily, we'll obviously have to talk
Flesh
about this more, but I don't know that's necessarily your job to validate the meaning of that relationship.
Not actively trying to validate.
Okay.
Trying your best not to invalidate it.
Gotcha.
Not stepping on any toes, right?
Okay.
Because it meant something.
Yeah.
And I want it to mean something. I'm glad it meant something.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, stop feeling that it meant something so that you can pay attention to me.
Sure.
Right? So, but I don't necessarily know the language to go about that without invalidating it completely. Because you want it, you clearly want it more than you want an interaction. You're clearly clinging to the past more than you want an interaction in the present.
Right, exactly. I don't know. I don't necessarily think like the person, it's their job to necessarily be careful about their words in that regard. Like,
because you should be straight up
in terms of like trying to make sure you're not invalidating. Well, no, you guys are not
completely invalidate that shit.
Right, like yes, no, but like it's not your job to worry about that. You're existing in this current interaction, and you want that person to be very present in that current interaction as well. You have the right to ask that of them.
Then I guess in the future we're going to talk about emotional availability.
Ooh, yeah.
Something we have in spades. But just to summarize.
Yeah.
In conclusion.